A series of brutal murders rocks the young elites in Kamurocho. Each victim was a founder of Crimson Lotus, a group of thugs for hire. Mikiko lost her only sister at the hands of these thugs, along with her foster parents. And to get revenge, she takes matters into her own hands. Like a phantom in the night, she attempts to kill the Crimson Lotus founders one by one. However, Ken Mochi lays an ambush for Mikiko, fearing that he might be her next target. Kaito bursts in on the scene and returns Mikiko back to safety. Seeing her safe and sound grants him a moment's repose, but their ordeal is far from over.
Hey, is she all right? They didn't do nothing to her, did they?
Yeah, she's fine. She's just out.
Oh, that's good.
Get in, Kaito. We're taking Mikiko-san somewhere safe.
Fine. But you better be ready to talk.
As you can see, we're packing up. Excuse the mess.
Crazy to think you were working for Mikiko all this time.
Because we only found out who she really was the other day. We had no idea she was Jun's mom, either.
Even though she's your client?
All she gave us was a job, not her name. Said to protect a Jun Sadamoto. Kidnap him if you have to, but make sure he stays safe. That's the long and short of it.
Yeah, I'm not following. So, she hired some crooked detectives and left her husband and kid in the dark? Just what the hell was she planning?
You're aware she's been trying to get revenge on Crimson Lotus, yes?
Yeah.
So, what if she needed a babysitter? After her deed was done, all she'd need to do was swing by here, pick up Jun, and hightail it out of Japan.
Bullshit.
Oh! Mikiko-san!
Mikiko.
Masaharu-san,
Oh, you scared the piss out of me.
you saved me again?
Don't tell me you forgot. I'm supposed to be your bodyguard, remember? All right, Mikiko.
I intended to, but I never got the chance.
What do you mean?
Well, someone else was always one step ahead of me. No matter who I was after, they were killed before I even showed up. Ashizaki, the man in the burning building, same deal. He was dead by the time I arrived, and the place was already up in smoke.
So then, you're saying you're not a killer after all?
Correct. Though I'd give anything to do him in myself. Bastards.
Any idea who might be beating you to the punch?
I wish I knew.
I see. Mikiko, there's...
Yeah.
Why go after the Crimson Lotus founders? You mentioned Crimson Lotus being responsible for killing your family. What set this all into motion?
It all started with Ken Mochi. He was some kind of real estate broker way back when. He was making a fortune, too. And that was before the bastard went after my parents.
Right. Sadamoto-san mentioned something like...
Except, there was no evidence that they ever started the fire. The police pinned it all on the stalker and left it at that. Meaning it's up to me to get justice.
Mikiko. 2 years back, you disappeared from your home, leaving a suicide. The cops believe you killed yourself, but obviously you never did.
Of course not. Besides, I can't just die and leave my son behind. It was Crimson Lotus who framed my suicide. Must have been convenient for them.
I figured that was the case. But still, I can't believe you lived. They seriously pushed you off a waterfall?
To this day, I have no clue how I survived. I was apparently knocked out at the time. Maybe I have the devil's luck. Anyway, when I woke up, Shirakawa-san had already taken me in. But I couldn't remember it.
What made your memory?
I was watching TV. Yes. And Kyoya's face was on there.
Right. Your husband.
He's been on TV a lot lately. Anyway, he was chatting with a celebrity, looking real smug. And that's when it all came back.
Was there a reason you didn't contact your family right then? Sadamoto-san and June were
Let's just say I had some unfinished business to deal with. The kind a woman's family doesn't need to know.
Okay then. Let's say you had taken down Crimson Look. Then what?
Desperate times call for desperate measures. That's all I can say.
You know, your boy June ended up paying me a visit. He wanted me to help him find his mom.
I knew about that. Igarashi-san had told me he was with you. It didn't take me long to figure out what he was up to.
He also thinks he's my son. Of course, I beg to differ.
Right. That's all in his imagination.
Yeah, that's what your husband said too. I guess June was reading your diary from when we were together and got some ideas in his head. He said you wrote, "I'll never see Masaharu-san again." And I should...
I wrote that?
Come on, you really don't remember?
How could I? That diary's as old as time. And even so... Wait. You don't mean...
Ringing some bells?
Remember that time I borrowed 50,000 yen while we were out shopping? I forgot to grab money from the bank. But there it was, the cutest coat I had ever seen. The last one on the rack. And of course, I left my card at home too.
Huh. Know what? It does sound familiar. Hold on. Don't tell me.
I never gave you your money back after we split up. So I was stuck thinking about whether or not it would have been pretty awkward after the breakup we had. So yeah, that was stressful.
What? You mean to tell me that's what all that meant?
If you want, I could give you 50 grand right now.
No thanks.
Really? Okay, you're the boss.
Mikiko, why'd you want to stick June with these shady ass?
Because I needed a detective who'd take an anonymous job. I couldn't let it get out that I was still alive. The last thing I wanted was Crimson Lotus hunt. And while detectives are supposed to maintain confidentiality, I can't just take that at face value. Besides, any legit detective would turn down some random woman asking to snatch up a specific kid, right?
True. Guess that explains why you go to ex-Yakuza.
Yeah. Except Igarashi-san figured out who I was midway through it all.
Sorry I had to pry, Mikiko-san. But I always vet my clients. I'll admit, I was shocked to find out a dead woman hired us. Not to mention, one who was hell-bent on taking out Crimson Lotus. Those disgusting bastards. But hey, that's the most exciting shit that's happened to us in years. Why wouldn't we go all in?
I appreciate the help, Igarashi-san. Your people have had my back since day one. And Senda-san.
How'd you even afford them after being gone 2 years? You have cash?
After all I went through, I still managed to have my wedding ring. Pawned that off right away.
Apparently it was enough to cover my fee, and then some.
Easy, Mikiko-san. They might have put drugs in your system. Why don't you take a rest in the back?
Sure. I'll take you up on that.
Your guy, Senda. He's into Mikiko, isn't he?
That obvious.
Well, yeah.
What can I say? The guy's a big softy. I always tell him not to get too close to clients.
What about you? Mikiko got your attention too? For a crooked detective, I'd say you're pretty devoted.
Maybe I am. I've always respected fearless women like her. And besides, it's devotion that got our customer satisfaction rate topping 80%. That said, the guarantee applies to real customers only. Suckers don't get the same deal.
Corrupt and methodical. Huh?
Hey, Kaito. You think Mikiko-san...
Oh, yeah. If memory serves, she always liked dessert with her coffee.
Noted.
Kaito here. What's...
Guess what? I was able to salvage the data from that hard drive, damaged as it was.
No
Well, I did find something intriguing. Scans of some under-the-table transactions. Though whether they're useful to you or not, that I cannot say.
Well, wanna fill me in anyway?
Okay, so these scans showed questionable wire transfer records. It seems it was a security company that burned down. But 17 years ago, it received very large sums of unspecified funds over the course of 7 years. And the source of these funds was a smartphone app developer called Devenir.
So, some smartphone company illegally funds a
That, unfortunately, I could not find. I tried combing through their email history, but still nothing came up.
Alright.
Oh, and this Devenir? It doesn't seem to exist anymore. In fact, there are hardly any records of it operating. I'm tempted to think it's a dummy corporation.
Huh. Now tell me that's not fishy.
Indeed. Alas, However, I do intend on looking into this Devenir, seeing as there isn't much...
Appreciate all the help, Tsukumo.
Of course. Just ping me if there's anything else you need.
Guys, this is bad. It's Mikiko-san.
Where is she?
I don't know. The window was open when I got here.
Mikiko, where the hell did you go? Is she seriously going after Crimson Lotus again?
Oh, not good.
You know something?
Oh,
Numbnuts here. Doesn't know.
He can speak for...
well, it's just that Mikiko-san might be...
Senda! Whatever she decides to do, we see it through to...
You trying to turn Mikiko into a criminal? You know detectives are supposed to protect their clients, right?
We are protecting our client. By not letting you interfere with her work.
You know, Igarashi, I really can't stand the sight of you. I'll just have to beat the truth out of you then.
I'd like to see you try. In fact, I've been dreaming of the day I get to cave in your skull! Let's go, Kaito!
Get meat!
Bring it on!
Spill it. Talk!
You really think you can save Mikiko-san? The guy who left her in the dust for the Matsugane family.
Fuck you.
Believe me, Kaito. Her anguish runs deeper and darker than you can possibly fathom. She's fueled by a hatred too hot to be contained. That is, until she kills her target.
Just what do you know about Mikiko, huh?
A lot, actually. Collecting June wasn't all she had us do. There was another thing she asked us to look into, which is how we learned of suffering that'd push anybody over the edge.
Tell me.
I'll ask you again. Do you really think you can save Mikiko-san? You got the balls to face the misery she's going through and accept what she's become?
My mind's already made up.
Well said.
Huh?
To Ijincho, Yokohama. I'll fill you...
Hey, come on! Here we go, now! Get ready! Here we go! Now, this is what I'm talking about! Yeah! Here we go! Get me! That all you got? Come on! Hey! Give me all you got!